And I said, yes, that would be very unfortunate, wouldn't it? And guess what happened? Yes, the unfortunate thing happened, obviously. Hey, welcome to my video. If you're from my Instagram, I love you. And if you're not from my Instagram, love you all the same. Welcome to another Chit Chat Get Ready with me, where today I'll be spilling the tea on my new job, why my nails look so horrible, what happened with my nail artist. I'll be recommending makeup that I've been using and loving recently. So if that sounds like your thing, I would love to have you pull up a chair, let's get ready together. Or if you eat during these videos, then get you some good food and let's get right into it. Okay, so I don't have anything on my face. I only have my eyebrows filled in, but that's about it. So I'm diving right in. I'm gonna be taking the skin tint that I'm gonna be using later on and just cleaning up around my eyebrows a little bit first. And this one was by Essence. I actually bought it kind of on a whim and it ended up pleasantly surprising me, which by the way is not sponsored or an ad of any kind. They literally do not know that I exist. I bought it with my own money. I'm just saying in case anybody's been wanting to try it out. Okay, now I'm moving on to the eye look. It's not gonna be anything extravagant today since I'm only filming content for myself and then I also have some errands to run. We're gonna be doing like a bronzy smoky glow and that's about it. So I'm just priming my eyelids with that same skin tint. And I just applied it in a light thin layer. And now we're moving on to the eyeshadow, except this is not eyeshadow exactly. I'm using the bronzer that I'm gonna be applying all over my face later as an eyeshadow, and I'm just sort of blending it everywhere all over my moving lid. And for that, I'm using the MAC 217 brush. Okay, so now let's really get into the tea. So as you may know, I got a new job recently and actually I've been working there for a month now. And I do actually have some thoughts now that I've been working there for a little while. Honestly, girl, so far I am really loving it. Like, it's a very dynamic job, nothing like any of the jobs that I've had before. It's really not your typical 9 to 5, although most days I do actually start at 9 a.m. However, there are exceptions. For example, if we're having a filming day, that can completely vary. So besides actually being in the field, in the wild, I guess you could say when we are filming things for socials, I also do work in the office, although some days I work from home as well, like for example, today I did. So even though I am doing a lot of the same things and tasks on a daily basis, I guess you could say, it doesn't feel like Groundhog Day. Like it doesn't feel like I'm repeating the same day over and over again, which for me is a new experience. And I kind of like that, to be honest with you, because in every other job pretty much, I was bored, but that's been my experience up until this point, and this doesn't really feel like that, to be honest with you. Okay, pause. As far as matte eyeshadows go, this is it, honestly. I'm just gonna slap some shimmer on top of this and call it a day, girl. And I'm gonna be using Space Cowboy by Urban Decay because it's honestly so pretty and pretty much goes with everything. Also, in the sunlight, it looks so beautiful, so I'm just kind of dabbing it with my finger kind of everywhere. Anyway, now back to what I was saying. It's nice that I don't have to commute every single day and be at the office. It's nice to work from home. I personally love working from home, but then also I do like having to go into the office every once in a while because it gives me structure and that's something that I need. But then also, we've had a lot of filming days since I started working there. Honestly, more than I was expecting. For example, we went and did axe throwing for a video. We went to a lake to film something fishing related. We found a seamstress for a third video who kind of showed us the basics of sewing essentially. So all of that is very cool and very dynamic. We also had one event. It was kind of like this boat party type of situation. And even though I obviously had to work at all of those events, they were still really fun. And I've never had a job quite like this one before, so I am excited. The only downside so far is that I can never really predict in advance what my schedule is going to look like. It kind of varies, which on one hand I really like because I'm not somebody who can do too much of a structured week because I really honestly start going bonkers at around day 5. But also not knowing completely what my week is going to look like 2 weeks from now can be a little frustrating for making appointments or things like that. You know what I mean? But honestly, it's not too big of a deal. It'll work itself out, I'm sure. Okay, so you were able to see, but I used 2 primers on my face. Number 1, I used the Professional around my T-zone, and then the face glue by NYX everywhere else. Now I'm going in with this skin tint by Essence, and I'm just sort of applying it everywhere, and I'm going to blend it out with my beauty blender. Chapter. Okay, so now we can move on to what I was saying in the last video where I told you that I wasn't sure about how I was going to be feeling regarding filming my own content since I'm going to be now filming content as a 9 to 5 basically, because I already have some thoughts on that. So honestly, if anything, this job has made me want to film my own personal content even more, which sounds backwards and weird, right? But creating content for a business or even maybe not for yourself personally is completely different than when you do it for you and by you. And so it's made me want to do it even more. But honestly, the only thing is I haven't had a lot of time. I really haven't filmed a video in like 2 weeks, I believe. And then I also haven't posted on my Instagram for maybe about a month, but I am really active on TikTok, surprisingly, which I never was before. And the only reason for that is just because TikTok is easy to do right now. I'm having fun doing it. And it's also much quicker than creating a whole YouTube video, for example, or doing a whole look for my Instagram, like a crazy cut crease type of vibe. So that's why I'm on there. So if you're missing me, you can follow me on there. I'm honestly active most days, but I do miss doing makeup. Like I haven't sat and done my beat, my actual full glam in a hot minute. But again, I'm sure that this is one of those things that will sort itself out eventually because I'm obviously gonna make time for it again. I just need things to settle down a little bit here and then I'll be back on the horse. But yeah, so far that's pretty much all I have to say about my job. And now I want to hear about you. Like, tell me how your job is going, what's been going on. Do you have some tea? I would love to know if there's office drama or tea. That is my jam. Now we can move on to some other things. For example, reading. That's been something that's been also weighing on me a little bit. And so I want to talk about it. So let's start here. Even though I've been at this new job, I've been trying to read consistently like I always do. And so I try to read, emphasis on try, every single night. However, at this point, because there's so much going on, I am a little tired and I basically start falling asleep at around 11 p.m., which boo! Honestly, who falls asleep that early? I haven't been going to sleep that early since maybe elementary school. But then again, I personally have always been a night owl. So that's just me. That's just my take. However, recently with all of these things going on, I just can't help it. I can't fight the sleep, which means that even though I do read every single night, I don't read as much as I used to or as much as I would like to. And honestly, I think that's the reason that I've been DNFing so many books recently. Like I think I DNF'd 4 or 5 books this month. And that is honestly a lot for me. I try not to DNF books at all. I really try my best to give them a shot because when I was a kid, I would just never DNF anything. If I started a book, I had to finish it. And this, by the way, was a self-imposed rule. Like nobody was telling me I had to do that. I just was like, I have to finish it. I started it, so I have to. And you know what? That's kind of noble and great in a sense. However, now as an adult, I feel like that meme of Samantha Jones where she goes, I don't want to spend even an hour in my day doing something that I don't want to do. I think that's where that quote's from, but you know what? If it's not, let's pretend that it is now. So anyway, girl, because of that, if I start a book and I'm not enjoying it, I'm not having fun. In fact, if I'm not feeling anything at all, I just kind of go, you know what? I can't do it. And I DNF a book. And I have given myself permission as an adult to do that. And I think that's fine. Okay. But I have DNF'd a little bit too much recently and a little bit too fiercely. And I honestly think my running theory, okay, if you have one, let me know, is that it's because I haven't had enough time to read. And so the little amount of time that I do spend reading, I don't want to spend it begrudgingly reading something that I'm not enjoying. And that's where I feel like all this DNFing is coming from. But you know what? Honestly, it might also be a stroke of a reading slump. Maybe I just happened to pick up more books this month that are just not my personal jam. But that's my theory. You let me know down in the comments what you think. Okay, anyway, I just applied some concealer. This is by Catrice Cosmetics. A great affordable concealer. They also don't know I exist, by the way. Just saying. And I think I'm gonna put on another little layer on my dark circles after I do blush, and you'll see why in a minute. So this is a trick that I've been doing recently that I've really fallen in love with. This is by Trixie Cosmetics, who, you know what? Honestly, I talk about Trixie Cosmetics in every video on this channel because I just love the brand. And yes, obviously I do love the drag queen behind the brand as well, but this brand, it's just fierce. The products, overall, I have a lot of their products. I bought a lot of them. Overall, they're amazing. The packaging, I'd like to think that I do not get swayed by pretty and cute packaging, but honestly, saying that would be a lie because I totally do. And is this not the cutest packaging you've seen in your life? Every component they make, I mean, wow, love them down, girl. So anyways, this is a cream highlighter by them. It is this beautiful blue pink shade, and recently I've been using it underneath my blush because it just makes any blush pop beautifully, and also it looks incredible on naked skin. But anyway, I do apply this on naked skin, and I also do apply it on my foundation just like this, and then I put powder blush on top. I'm just applying it with my finger. It's super easy to apply and blend and yada yada. Anyways, I've just now realized, looking at myself in this little mirror here, that I don't have nails and my nails are like wrecked. And I don't think you people over here know why. The good people of TikTok do, but you don't. So let me give you that tea, okay? So if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that I love my nails. I love it when they're long, but if not long, then fun for sure. I normally get gel nails done, and I go to this one salon that I go all the time. Shout out Studio Alfie. Again, I'm not getting paid by any stretch of the imagination to say that. I just love her work, and I've been going there since 2018, I believe, and I have no plans of stopping. However, when work came up, there were some scheduling conflicts, so I couldn't make my original appointment, and by that time, my nail stylist went on vacation. So she basically was like, I'm sorry, but the earliest that I can get you in is August, which meant that I was gonna skip a whole month on top of the 4 weeks that I already had overgrown nails. And so I was like, period, girl, no problem. I completely understand. Obviously, my fault because I couldn't make the original appointment, but I was like, what do I do with my nails now, right? I asked her this because I was like, they've been on for like 4 weeks at this point, and they're not gonna last for a whole 2 months, so should I just go somewhere and get them removed? And she was essentially like, well, yes, that I think would be best, because honestly, otherwise you're gonna ruin your nails, and we don't want to do that because they're in such great condition. And I said, yes, that would be very unfortunate, wouldn't it? And guess what happened? Yes, the unfortunate thing happened, obviously. So I go to a salon, a different salon, right? Bless the girl's heart who worked there. She was really nice. And so I feel really bad like saying this, but it is a fact, she just didn't know what to do with my nails and how to take the gel off. She literally at one point said, I don't know what to do with these nails, and that's a verbatim quote. So she took the gel off, but at what cost? She ruined my nails underneath because she didn't take it off properly, and the skin underneath my nails bled, and my nails have been so brittle ever since then. To her credit, one thing I will say, I just know this about my nails, like my nails have always been pretty thin and brittle, even before I started getting gel nails done. Actually, that's the reason why I started getting gel nails done. But one thing I will say, my opinion is that since I've been going to my original girl, my nail artist, Studio Alfie, they have gotten way better. So anyways, every time I go to her, she does an incredible job. And this one time that I just had to get my nails taken off because I didn't want to ruin them and went to somebody else, guess what happened? I ruined my nails. And of course, I immediately sent her the video, and she was like appalled. She was like, what is this? Did you take them off yourself? So yeah, that was kind of bad. And so ever since then, my nails have been healing. I do have an appointment in my studio in like 2 days, so I can't wait for that. So that's the tea on that. But now going back to the makeup, as you were able to see, I just applied some setting powder on my under eyes. This is a banana powder by Essence. And then I applied some blush. This is the Bonfire blush. 2 shades. I went into the pocket right here with the deeper shade, and then the lighter shade is on top. And I learned this from watching Trixie Mattel tutorials, so she really knows what she's talking about, obviously. Anyways, do we like the blush? I love blush. I could just, you know, some days I think I look like a clown. And while that may be true, I think I also love clown makeup. So I'm not gonna apologize about the blush today. Okay, anyways, now we're moving on to the bronzer, the same one that I used as my eyeshadow. I'm just gonna apply it sort of everywhere where the sun would naturally hit. So yeah, that's kind of all I really had to talk to you about today. I'm sure there's so much more, obviously, but I've already been filming for like 43 minutes, and I'm really trying to get out of here because I have to make it to the post office and the bank and such. So I don't have time to yap as much as I would like. Don't you love how I say stuff like that and then I'll end up yapping for another 20 minutes? Okay. Anyways, also I can't forget my double chin, and I'm just gonna cut the cheeks here, and I'm gonna wipe that away immediately. Oh, also forgot to apply some bronzer on my nose. I got into that like a couple of years ago. I normally didn't like doing that because I thought it accentuated my nose, and my nose already has enough real estate, if you know what I mean. But honestly, it actually optically kind of slims it down, or at least that's what I'm telling myself, and that's what I'm choosing to go with. Okay, now I'm just gonna apply some mattifying powder. This is the cheapest one they had at the drugstore, girl, coincidentally also by Essence. And I'm applying it everywhere where I normally get super oily. So for me, that's my T-zone and my chin, honestly. So that's what this is looking like right now. The only thing left at this point is a little bit of mascara, the lips, and also highlighter, so I'm gonna do that. I'm applying a lash serum right now. This is one that I've been using for forever. And then I'm gonna go in with, well, another Essence product, the Lash Princess Mascara. And I finally tried that one just because it's been viral for so long. All the girlies swear by it. This won't be my first reaction. I did a first reaction on TikTok, and you know what? I'm gonna use it up. I do like it. However, I will say I was expecting more based on all the love that it's getting online. And I think that's fair to say. So I'm gonna apply some setting spray now while this dries down. If ever I feel cakey, that's honestly the solution, to just bathe in setting spray. So love that. I'm gonna be using my favorite highlighter by Fenty Beauty here. This is honestly the best. I use it all year round. Look how gorgeous that is. Okay, now back to the mascara. And now I'm just gonna go do my lips, let my hair down, and I'll be right back. Okay, here I am. This is the finished look. I hope you like it. Now for my lip combo, I used the ColourPop So Juicy Lip Liner in the shade Tease. This is an all-time favorite of mine. And I used the YSL Love Shine Candy Glaze in the shade 05. The tea about these is I didn't want to purchase them for so long because I just kind of thought they were overhyped, okay? But you know what? Honestly, I love these so much. They feel like the best, most luxurious lip balm, and not the kind of lip balm that you have to keep reapplying all day, if you know what I mean. Like actually nice and hydrating, but they look amazing on the lips. And surprisingly, they do not transfer to my Invisalign trays. So I just love that. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you for allowing me the space to yap. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, please consider liking the video, maybe leaving a little comment, sharing, subscribing even. And I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.